Hi there, this is Michelle Wong here, and welcome to our interview series to help kick off our live event that's happening in Seattle on February 20th, and our event is called Ignite Your Radiance. What I decided to do was to interview some of our speakers and our contributors so you can learn more about them and just check out what they're doing because they're all doing amazing things. And so today I have the honor and the pleasure of having Melody Biringer with us, and Melody is the founder of Crave, and she's also created Urban Campfire. And so these are both events and brands that help women connect together in deeper ways. So I'm really excited because Melody is awesome. So thank you so much, Melody, for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's going to be so fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, and so I have so many questions for you, and one of them is you have such a great experience in terms of being an entrepreneur, and you describe yourself as a startup junkie. And so can you share more why entrepreneurship calls to you?
I don't know anything different. I started when I was 8 years old selling lemonade to the strawberry pickers. I grew up on a strawberry farm, so I just grew up in a very entrepreneurial environment, and there was never anything mentioned in my household to go to college or do anything different, so I started my own business when I was 18. I opened up a furniture store. Wow. And from then on, I kind of went, and 30 years later, I've dabbled into 20 different businesses and flipped things and started things and failed and succeeded at a couple, but that's pretty much my life and what I know.
Wow. So, you cut off a little bit in the beginning, so you said that you grew up in a farm?
I grew up on a strawberry farm, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I saw lots of opportunity all the time. I'm like, ooh, people are driving out for a whole hour to pick strawberries. I could bring the strawberries to them. So I started a little berry barn business when I was 18, bringing the strawberries to the city. And I just always see opportunity, and I'm not afraid to try it. So just kind of go out and try things.
That's so great. I think, it requires going outside your comfort zone, and you seem to be fearless about it.
At first, for many years, it was not out of my comfort zone. I didn't know any better, so I just tried it. Now, after you have a few failures under your belt, you get a little bit more shy. You're like, ooh, I don't want to fail anymore. So let's do more calculated risks now. Now I think about it a little bit before I jump into it.
Yeah, I find that, with entrepreneurs, a lot of the times it's follow your passion. Otherwise, you wouldn't take that risk or go outside your comfort zone. And so have you ever done anything in the past that it wasn't necessarily your passion, but you did it anyway? And how did that go?
Well, I'd say the food business isn't necessarily my passion, but because I grew up in that industry, I just kind of went with it and ended up in the fair business, the concession business, where we sell strawberry shortcake at all the local fairs. And I wouldn't say I'm hugely passionate about it. What I'm passionate about is people standing in line and giving me money. So I am motivated by that versus the actual business. We make a killer shortcake and have been doing that business for 25 years, but I'm not as passionate about it as I am my Crave company, where I'm helping women entrepreneurs and having great conversations with women. That is what I'm really passionate about. But sometimes I think that it's okay to do things that you're not passionate about to be able to sustain the other things that you are passionate about. Sometimes we've got to have that job or do that business that we're not necessarily passionate about because it's bringing in enough money to help us do what we're really passionate about and get other things off the ground.
Yeah, I think that's so important. I think sometimes people are scared, like, oh, I still have a day job, and but whatever it takes, right? And you're talking about Crave, and I wanted to highlight that a bit because I've been to different networking events in the city, and I have to say Crave is the best in terms of networking events, because it's not just, hey, you're welcome. Yeah, it's not just, hey, my name's Michelle, here's my business card, and then, you're off to the next person. It's really about creating deeper relationships and getting to know the other entrepreneurs at a deeper level. And so why do you think your events are so much more unique?
My theory is that we have so many things we can leave the house for any night of the week. There's so many networking events. There's so many places to be inspired, places to meet different kinds of people, and every kind of industry. But what gets us really to go out of the house, because we like staying at home.
Yeah.
What gets us to go out, I think, is the motivation of knowing that you're going to be able to connect with other people and be able to talk about what's going on in your life. So what's going on in your life, and how can you help move that forward? So a little bit of, hey, here's who we all are, but mostly our events are all about connecting with a small group of people in a very, very meaningful way. And we give everybody the time and the space to be able to talk about what's going on in their life and what do they need to move forward in. And my latest, my urban campfire business is just come in the last year, which is just about having more meaningful conversations, and that kind of open, because I, for many years, have been putting on events that are more inspirational and networky also, and I was getting tired of my own events. And I realized that even if I want to go out and put on events, I want to be able to talk about what I need to move forward on, and everybody's that way. So, you know, we're all stuck in different areas of our life at all times, and it's just so great to be able to have a like-minded group of people to listen to you and open their Rolodex open to you. So, you know, I always say that if you need a new website or a new husband, you know, whatever is going on in your life, you know, talk about that. Let us hold the space and listen to you. Let us open up our Rolodexes, help you with whatever you need on that particular night. So that's what I think people are so juiced about our events, is because you leave really feeling like you've been masterminded slightly, and you get to move something forward that you're really stuck on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally true.
I remember you and
I feel
our
that
last
when I
little
go
group,
to the
and we were
events.
moving you forward.
Yeah, thanks to you, I didn't choose the same title for my book that someone else had. The Ignite Your Radiance event that I'm hosting centers around health, wealth, and community. And so I know that with your brand and what you do with Crave and Urban Campfire, it centers around community, and community is so crucial to success. So can you highlight that and how it relates to wealth and how those two relate to each other?
Yeah, so community and wealth, that does go hand in hand. I have never said it in the same sentence before, but when you brought that up to me, I'm like, yeah, it really does. Because you can't have wealth, whatever that means to you, whether it's wealth of, you know, success, whatever success means to you. It doesn't have to be money necessarily. It could mean how you feel. And I don't think you could have that without community. Community is everything, and you know, finding your like-minded community is just like the most important thing. I feel like I've met so many people that are struggling to find, you know, their people. You know, where can they hang out and be inspired and really get each other. So I think finding your community is huge, and then once you have that, really cultivating that is very powerful. I like to create community one-on-one myself. I'm more of a one-on-one person, so I love to go on walks with people and have coffee and just kind of really, you know, brainstorm, or like even just a small group. I really like small groups, and I think that's why I changed my whole business model to very small groups, because there's something about being heard and really listening, and you know, being vulnerable. Kind of vulnerable is my big, you know, breakthrough in the last couple of years. If you can be vulnerable with others, they will open up and be vulnerable with you, and then now you have a really deep, meaningful relationship. We see each other in each other's stories, and if we can share those, and not just the surface stories, but kind of what's really going on. I'm so much more open to helping people and creating a bigger community when people are more open versus just being very surface. So so that equals wealth. For me, my community is everything, and my circle of really good friends versus my circle of acquaintances are all the greatest things that I have, the greatest assets that I have in life. So it's kind of what I spend my whole entire days doing is creating community and going deeper and deeper. And we all can help each other so much if that's the way we're kind of walking on this earth and thinking.
I love that, especially what you were saying about being vulnerable, and that allows us to open up and be of better support to one another. And so that's so great, and especially tying back to the greater definition of wealth. It doesn't have to be just our finances, but what feeds us on a day-to-day basis in terms of connection.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much. Yeah. And so if you want to learn more about Melody and check out what she's up to, you can go to her website, thecravecompany.com, and I'll include a link down there as well as a link to Urban Campfire. And if you love what she's sharing, she is coming to our event as a speaker for Ignite Your Radiance. That's again happening in Seattle. Yeah, I'm so excited. And it's not just going to be speakers, but we're going to be connecting with other like-minded people, as well as there's going to be food and wine and amazing gifts that I'm so excited about. So all details are below, and thank you so much, Melody, for your time and for being here.
Thank you, and I look forward to it. It's going to be a fun day.
Yes. Okay, have a good one. Bye.